They all say the Kilo is garbage, the Kilo's trash, the Kilo, don't use it anymore, man, all this and all that. I have to say one thing about the Kilo, man, it's one of those guns that's been my savior. I've been having so many bad games recently where I've been using guns like the best ones, the FFAR, the AS Val, all that kind of stuff, and then I'm having bad games. I whip out the Kilo, and I get like 20 kills. Guys, you gotta use this class. The Kilo's nasty, and let me explain one thing to you guys, but before I do, if you guys could drop a like on this one, that would be amazing. Subscribe to the channel with those notifications turned on, and let's get into the KILO-141. What is up, guys? My name is Nick, and welcome back to another Warzone video. Today we're talking about the KILO-141, but I also have an OP class setup for my secondary weapons as well, which is the Mac 10 and Fennec. I'm gonna share both those classes with you guys, but I want to say quickly here, one thing about the Kilo. A lot of people are saying it used to be really good when it was only 11 shots. Now it's 14, it's garbage, it's this and that. I have to explain one thing to you guys. Imagine you're using the KILO-141 and you're going for shots at 100 meters. The KILO-141 is not gonna miss any bullets. So it only takes 14 shots to kill someone at 100 meters. But then let's say you got the FFAR out and you're going for the same shots at 100 meters as well. This gun has more kick. This gun's gonna take a lot more shots. So even if it is only 8 shots to kill at 100 meters, chances of you hitting those 8 shots all at once are pretty damn slim. It's probably gonna be more like 17, 18, even 19 shots coming out of that gun before you kill the actual enemy. So the KILO-141 does kill faster because it's a lot more accurate. Now I want to share these classes with you guys because they're absolutely amazing. Like the KILO-141, it's my savior. I said it's one of those guns where if I'm doing bad, no matter what gun I'm using, I'm gonna switch to this one, and I know my next game is gonna be nice. And it even works up close, which you wouldn't think an assault rifle like this would work up close. Well, it does, man. Let's talk about it. So the KILO-141, the first thing you need to run on this is the monolithic suppressor. 100%, dude. Any Warzone or Modern Warfare gun you're using in Warzone needs the monolithic suppressor, so you could get sound suppression, you're not seen on the map when you're shooting, but you also get damage range, and the damage range is pretty damn nice on this one, so that's why I recommend using it. Now after that, you want to use the Barrel Syngard Arms 19.8-inch Prowler. This gives you damage range again, so you do more damage at further ranges. Bullet velocity, so if you are aiming right at the dude's head at 100 meters, your chances of you hitting his head is pretty damn high, bringing that 14 shots down to like an 8 shots, and it gives you recoil control, so that's really nice. That makes this gun much more of a laser as well. Now before we go on to the next attachments, I did say I will share 2 other classes with you guys, and that's for secondary weapons that you guys could definitely go ahead and use. But let's move on to the optic. If you're using the Kilo, the one thing you need to run is the VLK 3.0X optic, the 3-time optic, man. This is one that I think is really damn good, and if you're going for reticles, a lot of people like to switch it out and use one that is really ugly. I mean, if you got the blue triangle, definitely go for it, or if you got like the red dot or anything like that, yeah, maybe, sure, go for it, but don't use any of the other ones. I find like they kind of mess up a bit. It doesn't feel as good as it does. I've picked up dudes who had weird reticles on their gun. Just don't use it, dude. It's just gonna screw you up. Use just the one that comes with the gun, or if you have the blue triangle one, go for that as well. The next attachments you want to go and throw onto this one is gonna be the underbarrel Merc foregrip. Now Merc foregrip gives you recoil control, but it also gives you hipfire accuracy, and that's where I said this gun actually is good up close. If you have hipfire accuracy, you could start shooting at the enemy before even aiming down sights, and while you're aiming down sights, you'll be shooting him and doing damage regardless. Don't wait until you're aiming down sights to fire this gun. Shoot with the hip and then aim down sights. Gradually go into the ADS, and you're gonna see you're gonna be smacking people like crazy with it. Then the last attachment obviously is 60-round mags. Don't run the 100-round drum. It is horrible. Your ADS is gonna be disgusting. You're gonna move as slow as a turtle. 60-round mags is more than all you need. I've seen people running around with the 100-round drum, dude. Don't do it. It's useless, man. But yeah, that is the Kilo class. This is the one you definitely want to use. Now, if you don't need an optic, if you're one of those people who are really good without it, then go ahead and run the rubberized grip tape. It's cool, you get recoil control, but I still recommend the VLK 3-time. It makes those shots at the longer distances a lot easier. So yeah, let's go on to the next class on this one. Now this is my Mac 10 class, and this is not like any Mac 10. You're not going to see people running around with this Mac 10 class whatsoever. You're never going to see it because it's a weird, awkward Mac 10. It doesn't make sense for the most part, and a lot of people always bash me for using this class, but I have to say it's actually kind of nice. I kind of really do like this class. And yeah, anyways, let's talk about it. The first thing you want to run is the muzzle, and you could go for the agency suppressor on this one. You get sound suppression and you get damage range. That's really, really good. It's kind of like the monolithic suppressor, pretty much the same thing, but you actually get more range with this one than you do with the monolithic, so it's cool to have. The barrel you want to run, I like the 6.1-inch reinforced heavy for effective damage range and bullet velocity. Now you could obviously run the last one, which gives you extra damage and whatnot. It's really nice to have, but the reason I like this one is that bullet velocity and damage range, I could turn this gun into a mid-range gun as well. I don't only have to use it for up close. A lot of the Mac 10 classes you see are only good up close, and then when you get to mid-range, they're garbage. This one right here actually works for that as well, and like I said, not a lot of people run this, and you're not going to see people running it, but I like it. It works for me. After that, we're going to go to the stock, and I like the no stock, so I could get that sprint to fire time up. In case I'm running up somewhere, I don't hear people hiding or whatnot, I could start shooting even if I'm sprinting. I could stop sprinting, start shooting, and it's going to be really, really fast, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, after that, you could either go ahead and on the magazine, and you could run the 43 round speed mag, which is perfect. You don't need much more than 43. I know they have the 53, but 43 isn't bad because you don't lose as much ADS, and you actually get to reload this gun pretty damn fast. And when you get into those up close gunfights, you're not going to be using as much bullets as the far ones, but you could definitely use the 53 as well. I always switch through them. Sometimes I use the 53, sometimes I use the 43, and I haven't noticed much of a difference. If you're playing quads, definitely run the 53. If you're playing duos or solos, 43 is more than enough. You don't need to run more than that. So yeah, think about that when the next time you're changing your ammunition. And for the rear grip, this is one that I like a lot, and that is the speed tape, but you could definitely go ahead and run the serpent wrap. Now the reason I'm running the speed tape is because it gives you extra ADS, which is great up close, but it has zero cons. There's no negatives to running this on your gun whatsoever, so that's why I like running it. This is the Mac 10 class I use. I know it's not like anybody's Mac 10 class. It's not meant for just up close or anything. I just like it though. I mean, I just like using this class. If you guys like it as well, definitely go ahead and use it. And sometimes I even take off the sound suppressor and put on an underbarrel. I'm just being honest, man. Sometimes, I mean, when I'm up close, the enemies already know I'm there. So even if my red dot appears, they already know I'm there. I don't care. So yeah, anyways, let's go on to another class, and this is for the Fennec. Now the Fennec I've only recently started using, so I might not have too much gameplay of this one to show you guys, but I will say that the Fennec is kind of nasty. Like, it's kind of nasty. Now, at first when making this class, my buddy and I were talking about it, and he didn't run the monolithic suppressor. He didn't run it at all. He was running instead the ZLR 18-inch deadfall, which is cool. You get damage range and sound suppression with recoil control and bullet velocity on that barrel. It's a barrel that gives you sound suppression. It's cool. But let me explain something to you guys. There's no point in running this. You're not getting as much damage range as you possibly could. Yeah, you get recoil control, which is really nice, but you also get recoil control on the ZLR 16 Apex, which gives you damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control as well. The only thing you're not getting on this one is the actual sound suppression. That's it. That's all it's missing. But then you could go ahead and run the muzzle monolithic suppressor, which gives you that sound suppression that you need, but it gives you additional damage range. It gives you an extra damage range advancement onto this gun. So now instead of just using the barrel where you only get it up by 1, you get 2 damage ranges added with this right here. So I think that's good. It's really good. You get a little bit extra range on this. As you guys could see right there on the red stat bar, this is me using the monolithic suppressor with the ZLR 16 Apex, and this is me using the no monolithic suppressor, I should say, with the ZLR 18 deadfall. It's a lot worse, so you definitely want to run the 16-inch Apex. After that, I feel like a sight is definitely needed on the Fennec, and one that's good is the GI Mini Reflex. It's a small sight. It doesn't zoom anything in. Everything is nice. It's right there, and it runs perfectly. Now, for the last 2 attachments on this one, I decided instead of a rear grip, stock, and perk, we're going to go ahead and run the underbarrel Merc 4 grip, which is great. Definitely needed on this gun. It does help out a lot because this gun does have some kick, but you guys can see this gun also kills people at mid-range, which is pretty damn nasty. And then the ammunition is only the 40-round drum mags. Now, you do lose ADS and movement speed with this, but you kind of need it because, like, dude, 40 rounds, it might not be much, but it's a lot more than what you start with. And unfortunately, that's the most amount of ammo you could ever throw into this gun. I mean, you could get the .45 hollow 12 rounds, which kill really fast, but it's kind of hard to hit people with that because it's a burst and whatnot. Just use the 40-round drums and you are going to smack people with it. So if you guys did enjoy these classes, let me know down in the the comments below. You gotta try them before you knock them, trust me. Like, I was very, very keen on not using that MAC-10, but I wanted to make a MAC-10 that was very different, but still worked, and I kill a lot of other people using the MAC-10s with my MAC-10 class. So either my accuracy is so much better than them, or my class just outdoes theirs. So I don't know, man. I think it just outdoes theirs, to be quite honest with you. The Fennec is nice, and the KILO-141, like I said, man, yeah, it takes a lot of bullets to kill, but at least you know every single one of those bullets is going to hit. Whereas if you're using the AS Val or anything like that, you're probably not going to hit every single shot at further distances. So yeah, drop a like on this video if you guys did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here with those notifications turned on. I'm going to be uploading more Warzone, obviously. Not as much as I do a Cold War, but I do play Warzone a lot, so I will be uploading that. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!